Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to call the November 7th meeting of the Common Council to order. I will ask the clerk to take a roll call.
Alderperson Keene. Here. Lysick.
Here.
Reinke. Here. Rote.
Here.
Stefanski.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
Vitale.
Here.
Weigel. Here. Grisham. Here. Haas. Here. 10 present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Please rise if you are able and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led this evening by Alderwoman Keene.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will move on to Part D of our agenda, public hearings, and we have one this evening, which I will ask the clerk to read.
2024 City of West Allis Mayor's Recommended Budget.
And then I will turn it over to staff. I have no remarks planned, so, but I just, again, I want to publicly thank both Jason and Rebecca and Chris Moan in our finance department for their work on this budget. As I said in front of the administration committee a week or so ago, this budget was a little bit easier because of the recent action by the state legislature in passing Act 12, which gave cities in our state the first bump in shared revenue in 2 decades as they sit on a multi-billion-dollar surplus. So we are very much appreciative of that. However, I'm still encouraging my colleagues as well as the members of our community to continue to contact your state senators, your state representatives, and your governor and tell them to continue that discussion and not just sit and do nothing for another 20 years, because that is going to make it very difficult given budgets going forward. So thank you, and now I will turn it over to Jason and Rebecca. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Rebecca Grill. I'm the city administrator. I'm joined by Jason Kazmarek. He's our finance director, and we're pleased to present the mayor's 2024 budget. As a reminder, I just wanted to show our vision and mission statement. This is what guides us as we put together the budget for as departments put their recommended budgets forth towards the mayor, which he puts together for the council. And a little bit about the city of West Allis. We have approximately 60,000 people, a little over 50% are owner-occupied house, and the median value is $155,000 for a house, and the household income is almost $59,000. And again, also, the strategic plan focus areas help guide us when we put together our budget. We have 3 different budget priorities for the 2024 recommended budget. The first is public safety. That includes maintaining funding and actually adding funding for police and fire services, including adding more flock cameras to the fleet that we have already. There's some stats here that the success of the flock cameras, these are cameras that are put strategically at different intersections, and they take, I'm probably not going to get this exactly right, but they take photos of the license plates, and then if it's stolen or involved in some type of crime, it'll flag and the police will get notified, and they'll be able to stop that vehicle shortly after it passes by those cameras. So in 2023, I believe this is for the first 8 months, we had 480 calls for service from them, 70 arrests, and 125 citations. So adding additional to that will likely help us curb additional issues in the upcoming year. The second priority is pedestrian, motorist, and cyclist safety. We have a reckless driving submission that the public can submit videos of evidence that they've witnessed of reckless driving, we're improving that process. And then also allocation of $225,000 for traffic calming and pedestrian improvements. Further, there's a focus on parks, a change in the public works operations, the commencement of our parks subcommittee meetings, and then formalized recommendation process for the park committee to send to the capital improvement committee. As the mayor mentioned before, we continue to have challenges, fiscal challenges year after year. This year we do have a one-time reprieve with a change in the shared revenue by the state of Wisconsin, but we still have an over-reliance on property taxes in the state, and we have the expenditure restraint and levy limits, which further complicate our ability to provide high-quality services. See, these are some of the other challenges that we faced on a year-to-year basis. This is a little bit about Wisconsin Act 12. It's dedicated fund source for shared revenue that we are supposed to use for police, fire, courts, transportation. It also eliminated the personal property tax requirements for business, created innovation grants for governments to collaborate and consolidate services, and some changes to the levy benefits for TIDS. The majority of those are negative, will have a negative impact on the city. Here's just a little bit about the expenditure restraint program. It was created in 1990. The funding was changed in 2003, and it's been maintained the same amount for over 20 years, and additional municipalities have been part of it. Basically, if you only increase your expenditure by a certain formula for year to year, the state gives you a payment. So ours is around $1.5 million a year. Do you want to talk about these?
Sure. This next slide just kind of goes over levy limits. Rebecca just talked about expenditure restraint. This is the revenue restraint that we have to deal with. This is a state mandated law. The big figures that you have in front of you represent the increases that we've been allowed in our base levy over the last couple of years. The makeup of what we can increase our levy by is based on net new construction, and net new construction is the value of constructed buildings and land improvements net of anything deconstructed in the particular year. On average, we have about a 0.6% net new construction figure. If we take into consideration that the levy is only about 60% of our budget, that means we're getting about a 0.4% increase in budget capacity based on this limit, which is quite restrictive.
Thank you. A significant portion of our budget has funds our personnel. We have about 531 positions. That's down 2.08 from 2023, that should say. And here is the comparison from 2017. You can say we moved from 580 down to 531. The majority of those have been from our Public Works Department. And these are a list of our retiree costs that we have broken down by departments and general government. You can see the police and fire are the largest for that also. And these are the expenditures by government category. General government is about 10 million, and then public safety, 42 million. There's a breakdown of the police and fire there. Public Works is the next largest, about $13 million, and then it goes down from there. And you can see the change from 2023. Several of the categories have gone down, and the police and fire are going up over almost 5%. Okay. This apparently has lost all of its percentages, so I'll just...
So this slide, for whatever reason, lost the percentages, but the large orange piece of the pie here represents public safety. This is total expenditures by category. The orange section is 60% of our budget. The next largest piece is Public Works in gray, that's 18%, followed by general government in blue, that is 14%. This is typically what we see from year to year, no major changes.
Thank you. And these are the revenues that we use for our general fund. As I mentioned before, the majority of them are made up of property taxes, so 61%. In 2023, it was 63%, so you could see a little bump from the Act 12 increase of shared revenue, but that will change once again next year and continue to go up.
And here we just have some historical data ready for you. Two pieces to point out here would be in the upper right, the local tax rate. I have expected to be $12.07, which is just a slight decrease from prior year. It's not finalized yet, but I believe that's likely where we're going to end up. And then the overall tax rate on the bottom left there is looking like we will likely have, with all the tax districts, just a slight increase in taxes for this upcoming tax bill. Overall, as I mentioned, I expect a slight decrease in the city tax rate, an estimated $7 savings for the average homeowner with a home valued at $150,000.
And just because we do get a significant amount of questions regarding our marketing and art activities in the city, we have, as many of you know, there's a state law that we get room tax from hotels and motels, and 70% of that has to go to economic development and tourism activities. So that's where we spend a lot of that on our marketing activities. And then our Artscape Fund receives donations, which we have been able to fund the murals and other art in the city. So that is not coming straight from property taxes. We'll be happy to take any questions at this time.
Thanks very much. Are there any questions from the members of the Common Council on this public hearing? Okay, seeing no one, are there any questions or comments from the members of the public on this public hearing item? Okay, seeing none, then we will close our one public hearing. And we will move on to item E, which is citizen participation. This is when the council can receive information from members of the public during this 30-minute period. Each speaker must announce their name and address to the council. Please sign in at the podium and limit your comments to one statement of no longer than 5 minutes. We cannot take action on the topics raised by the speakers, and we cannot discuss the topics raised by the speakers. Is there anybody that wishes to address the council under citizen participation this evening? If so, please come up to the podium. Okay, seeing none, we will close citizen participation. And on the top of page 2 is the announcement of our standing committees, which will be meeting during recess. Those room numbers are listed on the top of page 2. If any of you, I talked to a few people in the hallway, if any of you are here for a license, Please take a look at that, and if you need direction during recess, please ask one of us which room you should go to, so we make sure you get into the right room. Mayor's report this evening, item G. I just have one item. I want to remind and invite the community that on Friday, November 10th at 11 o'clock, we are going to be having a Veterans Day ceremony with the Tanner Paul Post. It is going to be at Veterans Park in the police substation at 11 o'clock. That'll be Friday, November 10th. That does conclude the mayor's report. Do we have any alderpersons' reports this evening? Alderman Weigel?
I just have two bits of news from downtown West Dallas. Sue Plus 2 is moving to a new location. If you know Sue and Jose and Carlos, they've been with the restaurant on 7,000 block Greenfield. They had a nice little cafe with fusion menu. They've switched from being renters to being owners of property in downtown. They bought one another. Most recently, sold, and for the old timers, big boy. So they've expanded. They opened up yesterday, and we wish them luck. And also for people following with what's going on, the other news in downtown, the Deco, the former J.C. is an event space. They're holding an open house this Thursday. That's on the corner of 72nd. This Thursday from 7 to 11 p.m. And I believe they will also be showing their vision for what they want to do with the pedestrian area that we sort of created on 72nd. So neighbors, especially in the 2nd District, or anyone interested to see what the plans are for what Wally and his staff would like to do there, I invite you to come over. It's 7 to 11 p.m. this Thursday at the campground. That's all.
Thanks, Alderman Weigel. Any other alderpersons' reports? Okay.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move for approval of the minutes of October 17th, 2023.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. Are there any corrections or changes? All in favor, please say aye. Anybody opposed to approving the minutes? That never happens. The minutes are approved. Next week. We have no standing committee reports under item J, so we will move to item K.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
is there any item under item K that any council member would like to have acted upon separately? If not, I would move for approval of the consent agenda as it's been presented.
Thank you.
Second.
If there's no discussion, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Keen. Aye. Lysick.
Aye.
Reinke.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Vitale.
Aye.
Weigel. Grisham.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we stand in recess until conclusion of the committee meetings.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in recess.